Welcome to this episode of the LifeWork Podcast. Today we are joined by special guest Belina Dulaney.
Yes.
Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you joining us because I know for you it's a big step of faith to do that, and I'm grateful you're willing to take that step.
Well, thank you for having me.
Glad to do it. Been looking forward to this. And thank you for your patience in working out the scheduling in such a way that we can finally get you on here.
Oh yeah, I understand. I have a pretty rough schedule
You
to
do.
work around. Yeah,
You do, both on the professional and the personal
yes,
side.
yeah.
So tell our listeners who you are, what you do here at Williams.
Well, my name is Belina Dulaney, and I am the assistant professor of math here. So I just teach all the math. Anytime I say that, somebody's like, "Well, what do you teach?" And I'm just like, all the math, any of them, all of them.
And I'm sure that many of our listeners' eyes probably just glazed over like, yo, math teacher.
Oh, yes. That is always the response. Anytime I say that I teach math, it's like, oh, I just get a really negative response from somebody. Or, you must be smart. And I'm like, no,
No, you must be
No.
smart. Yes, you are smart.
No. And, but it's always that because everybody has this really, not everybody, but the majority of people have this really negative experience, I guess, with math.
I might be in that group.
Yeah, I think there's a very large group.
In my discipline, theology, we do have numbers, but, we have 7 days, 40 days, 12 apostles, and we have 3 and 1. And we don't have to make that work. It's God is 3, God is 1, and we just take it by faith and we can move on. But I'm sure there are those, you got to make it work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not one of the more popular subjects.
But very, very important, undoubtedly so.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody does math every day, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yes, God is a mathematician. I mean, if we look at the things around us, that's something that I teach in contemporary math is how can we see it just around us. And
I want to get into that.
Oh.
I want to get into that to them in a minute. But first, I want our people to know more about you. So where is home? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Truman, Arkansas, which is just about 50 minutes away from here.
Born there, raised there, grew up there?
Yes. I was born in, life started like pre-K in Dice, Arkansas. I don't know if you know, that's where.
Birthplace of Johnny Cash. That's right.
I don't even think that there's anything there anymore other than that.
Yeah.
But
there's not a place to commemorate. This is where Belina was born.
No,
right next to this is where Johnny was born.
Yeah, they didn't do anything like that. But life started there, and then my parents got divorced, and around age 4, and then Truman. So. Mm-hmm.
So you went to be with your mother in Truman?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any siblings?
I do have a younger brother.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So how old was he when that happened?
Baby.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. That must have been tough.
Yeah. It was. It was a good thing. My dad had a lot of. He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing. And I think that for him, the entire thing made him a better father because he became a recovering alcoholic for the majority of my life, and became a better dad. I think it was more like a wake up call,
Yeah.
And but most of my life is spent with my mom and just her.
So you moved to Truman, and your mom, I'm assuming, has to go to work outside the home?
Yes.
Okay.
She worked in insurance, which she still does today.
Okay. Is she an agent?
No, honestly, to this day, she's in customer service.
Okay.
In the insurance company. I don't even know really what she talks to banks a lot. I think they may insure banks.
Oh, wow.
People. Yeah. So
you might want to call her this evening and say, I got asked today what you do. What do you do, Mom?
Well, I've asked her, but it's still, it's kind of, it's one of those things that's hard to wrap your mind around.
Okay, so the way she explains what she does to you is how I feel when you're explaining math to me.
Okay.
There you go. I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So, growing up in a single parent home.
Yes. And like I said, my dad, he definitely got better. He worked on a cotton gin
Oh,
um,
okay.
there between Dice and Lepanto. And, we'd spend weekends with him once he did get better. And then, mainly just a strong mother with a really wonderful stepfather later on. And, but yeah, that was mainly how I grew up.
So I'm intrigued to hear about this strong mother. When you say that, what comes to your mind? What do you think of, or what do you mean when you say my mother was a strong woman, a strong mother?
She came from a difficult background, and she just came from a very, very difficult
Okay.
and hard life,
Okay.
and built everything for us, for
Okay.
me and my brother. Her work ethic is unbelievable, and like what she instilled in me with work and love and
Mm.
consistency and just presence, it, in the things that she had to overcome and the decisions that she had to make
Wow.
to be a great mom and a great person.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are just so many things.
So, of course, this is the LifeWork
Yeah.
podcast, and we like to talk about theology of work, what the Bible teaches about work, vocation, and calling. And so, you rang my bell when you said my mom's work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
So, memories. What memories do you have of how she lived out that work ethic? And when you think my mom was a hardworking woman, she worked with integrity, consistencies, and the words you use.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like in daily life in your home?
Well, it really, again, it's a single parent home. She didn't go to college, and she had worked in customer service, in an insurance company. So it's not the highest paying job, but just the things that never missed a day, always went and always just made sure that my brother and I had the best that she could give in whatever way that looked. And never really, until you start to look back at it and you're like, oh, how did she make that
Yeah.
happen? But it just, consistency is the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just,
There's a lot to be said for that.
yeah. And just basic work ethic of going and doing and
Doing what you're supposed to do
yes,
when
and
you're supposed to
showing
do it.
up
That's right. Showing up.
And being dependable,
Mm.
being an extremely dependable person, whether that's work or in life, as a mother. And it's hard to explain.
No, I'm tracking with you on that.
Yeah, there's no
Because
like one instance
that
where
creates a culture for your family, doesn't it?
yes, it absolutely does. Because there was never any question about, like, nobody ever had to tell me, like, you need to work hard, or you need to do this.
Right.
It was just, this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's why you were raised.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to get into this math thing in a minute. Did you grow up in church?
I did.
Okay.
I grew up in church with my mom, and I always knew God and Jesus and everything. And, I went to Sunday school and listened to the lessons, and I thought I was pretty serious about it. I thought that, like, I understood and that I knew and I was fully present and all of that. But it wasn't until teenage years that it was like, oh, this is who God is.
So do you remember exactly when or how you came to know the Lord in that way?
Yeah. So I got pregnant
Okay.
at 15.
Okay.
And before that, I was a, captain of the cheerleading squad and very cliquey, very just top of the world. Nothing can really touch you, top of the class and all of this stuff. And all of that changed, you know, like the top of the class didn't, but the people surrounding me did. It was kind of like an immediate abandoning from all of these worldly people, except for my mom.
Mm.
And it was pretty hard because, you know, you're already 15,
Sure.
going through normal 15-year-old stuff. And
Yeah.
then now you're expecting a baby, and that amplifies things a little bit.
Yeah.
And that sense of loneliness and isolation is where I truly started to trust and follow God, because I had no other option.
Mm.
I had nothing, nothing that mattered. And I wanted my child to not grow up with nothing. I wanted him to know the unconditional love that my mother had put in me. And it was no secret that she got that unconditional love from Jesus. And that's how she learned to convey that, you know, and that's how she learned to love, and through her own hardships. And so that's whenever I really started to rely on him. And he literally carried me.
Wow.
Held me and carried me through everything that followed.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot for a 15-year-old young lady.
Yeah. So that was my 10th grade year.
Okay.
And I just learned a lot about people during that time, and how the things of this world are so temporary, and nothing like what we can receive from God. And like I said, I was raised in church and everything, and truly, and I know this isn't everybody's experience, but my church family was the family that didn't change, the family that didn't treat me any different.
That's a gift.
Yes, it truly is. They wrapped me in love and grace and understanding, and which helped, you know, to not feel neglected by the church in that time. And that experience brought me even closer, because I was like, okay, well, these are the people that are sticking. You know, what's making them stick? What's making this different? What's making them not gossip and just abandon or think that I can't do everything that I was doing? You know, like what, again, top of the class, and all of a sudden, like, oh, she's not going to be able to do that. She's not going to be able to do this. You know, you know how, like, if you're doing well, everybody has expectations for you, whether they're close to you or not. They have expectations for you.
Yes.
And I just had disappointed everyone. I vividly remember a teacher, telling me, "You were almost perfect." And
Wow.
yeah, and that stuck with me, you know, like, almost perfect, you know, is perfect the word? Do I want to be perfect? And just the church and my mother, and my dad too, just standing by me. And obviously, you know, my mom experienced a lot.
I was about to say, had your mom remarried at this point, or was it?
Yes.
Okay, so your family of 4
Yes.
went to 5.
Yes.
Okay.
And she, you know,
By the way, I did math there. Did you see that?
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
I'm so
thank you.
proud.
Thank you.
But she did it with tough love and grace. And again, her expectations didn't change. Like, her top of the, like, she never doubted that I could still do it. that I could still do everything, obviously not cheer, but
10th grade.
yes. And I took my final, the end of my 10th grade year. I took the final that morning, and I had him about 5 o'clock that afternoon.
Oh, my.
And yeah, it was a couple of days after I turned 16 that little baby boy came into this world and changed everything for the good.
Okay. So tell us about the change.
So,
I mean, obviously, it's just a rolling avalanche of change for you.
yes. And, before him, I had aspirations to go to like an Ivy League school. Like I just really, things came naturally, like in intellect wise, I felt like. And I looked into Harvard. I started taking college hours, starting in 10th grade, so that I could raise my GPA to above a 4.0 so that I could get in. I was aware of the ACT score that I needed to have. I either wanted to do that or I wanted to go into the Peace Corps, which are two totally different things. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm only in the 10th grade, so it's just one or the other, and obviously those are two totally different things. But
And this was pre.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. And but after him, it became more uncertain. Like all I wanted to do was succeed. And whatever I did, I wanted to succeed. I didn't matter if it was school.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I kept my grades up. I wanted to make sure that I still graduated with above a 4.0. I wanted to make sure that I still took all the college classes I was planning to take, and succeed and create a good life for him in whatever way that looked like. And I would literally do anything to do that. So I, again, going back to my mom's work ethic, I wanted to take care of my baby. And so, he was born, and then shortly after everything, I was like, okay, well, it's time to get a job. Like, I need to get a job. And
Were you thinking about dropping out of school to just?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, never.
Okay.
Like, I was going to, like, whatever it took, succeed.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that too was a little bit of spitefulness because nobody thinks that you're going to, and so it was like, no, I'm gonna
I'll show you.
I'm gonna show you, and so it's started with small jobs like tutoring, and I worked as a waitress for a little bit. And
so you're a sophomore, junior in high school,
mm-hmm.
and you're working. You are maintaining high standards of
mm-hmm.
academic performance, and you're taking care of a newborn.
Yes.
Okay.
And
obviously not on the cheer team, probably.
No, I'm not.
I mean, that would be remarkable if you'd done that.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm not on any teams. I am just, again, just focusing on creating a good life for my baby. And so, life became work and school. And then, like, the next summer, I started applying for, like, more jobs where I could have, like, consistent hours and stuff. And you're younger, and even, like, I worked at Burger King for, like, a day or 2 days, but then they would only schedule me. Like, I looked at the schedule, and I had, like, 4 days in total over 2 weeks on that schedule. And I was like, I can't do this, And so my dad, working at the cotton gin, I started chopping cotton. And
I love this. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for just a minute. You
Okay.
started chopping cotton
Yes.
in a cotton field?
In a cotton field with a heavy hoe, yeah.
Talk about that. I mean,
again, even through all this, it's not that it didn't seem hard. It just, I think that the drive was so direct and so instilled that there was no other option. Like it didn't matter. There was no other option. It was, that's what I need to do. That's consistent. It's 12-hour a day. I'm going to get a good paycheck. I'm going to do this.
So was this while you were in school, or this was your summers?
This was during the summer.
Okay.
Yeah. So
when it's nice and cool.
Oh yeah, I know.
Here in Northeast
So
Arkansas.
that leads to my next
summer.
job. Yeah. It was like, it was like end of May and through June, and then it gets to July, and they had us. There was like a heat advisory, so they had us stop, which is when you know it's bad because
That's right.
they don't stop you.
That's
you
right.
know? They don't watch out for that. But they had us stop, and we went home a little bit early that day, and I went to go pick up my son from the babysitter, and I was just like, I'm tired, you know, and I'm not getting to see him very much, and I knew it was worth it, you know, for sure. But she had said something like, well, my cousins are opening a little diner down the road. They're still fixing it up and all of this, and so I was like, okay, well, can you watch him just a little bit longer? Let me just go over and ask. And I'm still in my, I'm still in my flannel shirt.
You're dressed for an interview, aren't you?
I'm for sure dressed for an interview. And I show up, and he has a younger man working for him, and they're still fixing up the building. And
this is in Truman.
This is in Truman.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm just looking for a job. And he was so skeptical because, I'm just a young girl. And but he was like, we're still fixing up this place, and there's a lot of hard work that's in this, like we got to put up drywall, we're going to be taking up tile, we're going to be tearing down walls and all this stuff. And I was like, I can do it. I'm ready. And
did you tell him what you had just been doing and maybe an
no,
hour before?
I was like really, again, not good at, I just direct and didn't think it mattered. I was just like, okay, I can do it. And he was like, well, I'll give you like a week and we'll see. Well, after that week, he ended up firing the other kid because he saw like,
I bet he
hey,
loved you.
he could be doing a lot more because she's doing a lot of this. And I stayed, and even after like it was finished being built, I became a waitress there, and it just really worked out.
Okay, so you're a young mother. You're a high school student.
Yes.
You are working in the cotton fields. Did you make a full summer, or was this pivot in the first summer?
This pivot was in the first summer.
Okay,
yeah.
So you did some cotton chopping, then you went to construction.
Yeah.
Then you went to serving, waiting on tables.
Yes.
Belina, you had a high regard in my scale of people that I respected and admired, but you just have gone through the roof.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, your mom's work ethic is just shining out of you.
Yes.
As a high school student, had a stumble, and you're picking it up and you're moving forward. And I'm assuming you're still involved in your church, and they're supporting you in this, walking with the Lord.
Yes.
That says a lot about your mom.
Oh, absolutely.
And the grace of God.
Because she at no point did she ever say, well, you have to get a job, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. It was just natural. And then in every instance, she was always like, well, God just really takes care of you with jobs. God just really takes care, like in that transition, God just really takes care of you with jobs. And then
we need to make T-shirts of that. I mean,
I
love that.
Yes, and he did. Every transition, Dr. Norman, every transition I've ever had in a job has been, I don't know how. Other than God.
Wow.
Like I've been, from there, I was a bank teller and a reporter. I wrote for a newspaper for a little bit.
In high school?
No, this was later on.
Okay.
But, it just, he just really carried me through.
So I want to get to the later years in our next episode, but I want to get you through high school.
Yeah.
So we get ready to graduate.
Yes.
Did you maintain that 4.0?
I actually graduated valedictorian of my school.
Congratulations.
And I, and even then, I remember it being almost anticlimactic. Like it was just like not a big deal to me, like because it was just God did this. My mom did this. Like I think my entire speech was about my mom. because she carried me through and she taught me the love of the Lord and what that can do for you, and the trust. She, yeah. So
Do you still have that speech?
I probably do somewhere.
You need to find that,
I do.
frame it, and give it to her.
I think she has it.
Okay.
Yeah. What's funny is I think that my son was crying during the part that I was talking about her because she said that she couldn't hear, but I'd gotten choked up and everyone started clapping and she didn't know why. Because it was emotional, but
I'm sure.
But yeah, and I graduated with 52 college credit hours. So I knew that I was going to go to college. Really didn't know for what.
So let's leave it there.
Okay.
Stick a pin in it and continue the conversation in the next episode. You good with that?
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.